Should my child continue playing sports after a concussion? So after there's been a concussion injury, families need to think of a few things as to whether or not to allow their child to continue in that sport. First of all, the duration of time it took for that child to recover. So if it took 24 hours or 48 hours to recover, that's one thing. If it took 24 days or 48 days, that's another. Secondly, how many concussions have they had? If this is their third or their fifth concussion, and the force of the impact is less and less. In other words, after the first concussion, it was a real blow, but after the third concussion, I was just pushed. You got to start to ask yourself, is the risk still worth it?
There's been some studies that have shown that probably less than 50% of high school athletes will report their concussions or injuries. So that's a huge percentage of folks that aren't. That could be because of wanting to play through and not, sit out of play. Sometimes it's also just a lack of recognition of the concussion symptoms.
If an individual tries to hide an injury, not report symptoms, or return to the sport too early, that is when an individual is at risk of having a second concussion, a third concussion, a fourth concussion, and that may result in long-term symptoms and a recommendation for retirement from contact sports.
Fortunately, there's some research that has come out that has shown that if they're removed from play essentially immediately, they return to play faster. So if we can get those concussions identified immediately, the odds of that athlete recovering quickly and getting returned to play sooner go way up.
The most important thing is that athletes want to continue playing the sport that they love. But for them to be able to do that, we need to make sure that we rapidly identify any brain injury, remove them from play, recover their brain, and return them when appropriate.
90% of these kids will recover within a month. A lot of them recover actually within a couple of weeks. Make sure that they've been seen by someone who's specialized in evaluating and managing concussion so that they're safely returned to play when they're ready and when their brain is ready. And if you do that, right, your kid will have a very long, healthy, and active life in sport.